This is the third part of this video, but it's going to be the first part after I get it all spliced together, or after Cheyenne gets it all spliced together. I'm wore out this evening, y'all. I've been in the taxidermy shop since, I don't know, hours. It's about 6:15, 6:30 in the evening, and I need to get this done. It's cooling down a little bit, so I'm dressed up warm. But what you're about to see in just a second, it's just a few clips of me and Raymond. We went to a brand new lake. Lake we'd never been, well, the lake's not new, but it was new for us. And we went to that lake, and we were going to go see if we could catch some crappie. And I got to thinking about it, and I said, well, maybe I need to share what I do when I go somewhere brand new and I'm looking for fish, and in this particular case, crappie. So I've got, well, all my electronics on the boat. I've got Lake Master on 3 different units in the boat, but I've got Navionics on my phone. I've got it downloaded on the phone. So what I did, it's interesting, and I really do think I love my Lake Master, but this lake's not even on the Lake Master maps. I mean, it's just one of them, you know how it is when you get to one of those lakes, it's just a blue blob. Anyway, but it was very detailed on my Navionics on my phone, so I'd got to looking on it and just studying the map. And it's winter time, so water's not super cold. It's about 52 degrees, 50 to 52 degrees. So I'm certainly not going to be looking for them shallow. So I went to look into this lake. The lake's only about 2,500 acres. I think that's what it is. And so I just went to looking for the deepest areas of the lake with the main channels that are going through it, because I know that's where the crappie are going to be. So after I studied that up, me and Raymond left early one morning. It's a couple-hour drive to this lake. We left early in the morning, got up there. It was about an hour and a half after daylight, no big deal. Real foggy, so I was glad we didn't get there too early. And so I just started slowly motoring the direction that I knew I needed to go. And once we got there, I found, I had side scan on. I saw a few things on side scan. But one thing I noticed about the lake was there was no physical structure and very, very little contour at all. So as I was going down the lake, headed to the deeper water, as it began getting about that 18-foot level, I went ahead and got up, dropped the trolling motor, and started looking. It didn't take long before we got on some crappie. Now, one thing I did notice is there weren't huge schools of crappie. It'd be like 4, 5, or 6 of them in a school, and they wouldn't be oriented to anything. They'd just be there. So if you could pick one of them off, you know, you were doing good. And we actually only saw about 3 stumps. And I guess we left about 4 o'clock in the evening, started fishing, I guess about 8:30. But saw 4 stumps and 1 treetop. So I mean, it was almost flat other than the channel. So from that 18-foot of water to about 20, I guess the deepest I saw was about 25 foot of water, is where we caught the fish that you're going to see us catch. And I noticed on the using the Tacticam, a fish eye, for some reason the fish didn't look as big as they actually were. Man, we caught some really good fish, 14, 15-inch fish, which I think are really good fish. A 15-inch fish is a good fish anywhere. I don't care where you're at. But anyhow, we kept about 25, 26, 27 of them. And when I got through filleting them, and you'll see that at the end of this video, I'm doing a little fillet demo. But when I got through filleting all of them and I weighed it, we had 8 pounds of pure fillet. You talk about some fine eating. We had a good day to go to a lake we'd never been to before. I'm wanting to go back and do another video there, since I kind of got an idea of a little bit about it. And I'd like to look at a few more places out there, and we'll see if we can do a little bit of video on that too. I don't know if somebody will be with me. I might be by myself. Anyway, so you're about to see me and Raymond on this lake that we'd never been in on before. And you're going to see us catch a few fish, and then at the end I'll do the fillet demo. So hopefully you enjoy it, and if you do, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button. Again, I think I said this on the other part of this video. Ask a question or make a comment or something like that, and I'll do everything I can to answer it. So hopefully you enjoy this. We'll see you in just a second on the water. All right, we're in the taxidermy shop, and it's time to clean some of these crappie, white perch, sockeye, calico bass, specks. Man, we got all kind of names. I guess I've said that before. Anyhow, we're gonna call them crappie right now. So we caught, you watch Raymond and I catching these fish. We got some whites and we got some blacks. And got to thinking, I've seen a couple of people do videos where they actually clean the fish, so maybe somebody's going to watch this video and go, man, I ain't never cleaned a crappie before. Well, it's mostly like any other fish that you would clean or fillet. So I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to do one of them and kind of show you the technique I use, because there is a little bit of a technique to doing these crappie. And by the way, this is our second take. I've already done this whole thing. We're going to try it again because we want you to see. We had all kind of technical problems. I went to dropping stuff. My knife didn't work. This is a Rapala electric knife that I bought years ago, y'all, and it's been really good. I use it, and then I do the rib cages out. Don't matter what kind of knife, but I'm going to do it with this. So I want to show you this too. This is called a bucket board. And the actual name is Fast Feet Bucket Board. It's got a ruler on here that goes 17 inches. It fits perfectly on the bucket. The first one I bought, y'all, it had to have been at least 30, it may have been longer than that, years ago. And it finally wore out, and I dropped it a couple times and it broke it and stuff. And I thought, man, I hate that. Well, my wife looked online and she found them. They still make them. So I highly recommend these things. I didn't even know they were still in existence, but they're pretty cool. So that's what I use all the time whenever I'm filleting fish. Anyway, we're going to grab one of these black crappie. Look at this. Look at the size of this black crappie. Look, get a shot inside that sink. That's just beautiful. Look at the size of that black. Look how thick they are. Oh my goodness. You know, it's funny to me what people think, how things came into existence, but the Lord created all that there is. He created these fish, and He knew we're gonna like these things because they eat really, really well. I'm glad He did. I'm glad He created those lakes He put them in too, because I sure enjoy those. You saw me and Raymond enjoying it yesterday. But here, let me get to filleting this fish. Okay, what we're going to do is it's filleting. It's kind of like filleting any other fish. We're going to come in behind the fin right here, and we're going to be behind this gill plate, and we're going to tilt it in toward the heel. So let me make this cut. All right, made that cut right there. Now what I do is I tilt the blade, and I'm going to cut this direction against the backbone, and I cut through the rib cage. I know it's tough on the blade, but this is the original blade. It's clean to many a fish. And I'm going to tilt my blade this direction to give me a guide, or I guess it's kind of like scoring it, and I'm going to score it that direction, and it seems to be a lot easier whenever you fillet. So you saw me turn that direction. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut through. Stop right before you cut through, flip that over, and then we're going to go straight in toward the skin and then fillet it out. I'm going to go ahead and do this other side. Same thing, I'm gonna score it this direction first, and then I'm gonna pull it in and make sure it's in front of this fin or on this side of that fin, because if it gets behind it, it's a pain. All right, here's something I want you to see. And this makes a difference. I don't care what kind of fish that you're cleaning. This does make a difference, and I see people that don't do this. Underneath where that fin, that dorsal fin was, you'll see a little line of this stuff right here. And on the bottom, you'll see the same thing. Another line on that bottom. Trim that off. That's just, it's not good table fare to begin with. And they say it holds a lot of the mercury that we get in our fish or in lakes. And I know that they say only eat so much fish during the per month and all. And some months I probably eat more than I should, but that's all right. I'm gonna eat it anyway. But I'm gonna trim it the best I can. So here's what happens with a crappie. Is instead of like some other fish that you may fillet, crappies, the meat goes underneath this rib cage a pretty good ways too. So whenever I cut in, I just use a regular knife for that. And I get behind the rib, I kind of tilt it. Can you see that, babe? I kind of tilt it to that end, and I come on this side and tilt it this way. Just cut that out. Sometimes if these are real big, I'll take a fillet out of them, but these aren't that big. So, and that's what your fillet is going to look like whenever you get through. Just like that. That's all meat. There's no bones or anything like that. And y'all listen, if you've never eaten crappie before, it's, a lot of people consider it the best warm water fish you can eat. And I wouldn't argue with that. The meat is extremely tender. It's very flaky. It doesn't suit real well to blackening, but it eats real well to blackening. So if you're going to blacken this fish, just make sure that you use a wide spatula in order to turn it over. We may do that one night. I may do a blackened crappie and just show them how to do that. And I usually use a whole fillet for that. And but they fry, y'all listen, I guess that's why the French called them sacolé. And what the word sacolé means, if I hadn't shared it with you before, is sack of milk. Now, I don't know where they come up with that, where they got that name. I guess it's that pretty white meat. But that's what they called it, a sack of milk. And they really do eat well. So I'm going to get busy cleaning the rest of these because we're going to have a fish fry tomorrow night. And hopefully y'all enjoy the video. Hopefully you learn a little bit, especially as you're fishing a new lake, kind of what to look for and how to figure out some habitat, especially this time of year, that the fish might be in. And maybe you learn something about filleting a fish. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel. Please hit the like button. Make a comment or ask a question. I'll do the best I can to answer it. I'm not going to tell you what lake we were on, but I'll do the best to answer the questions that I can. So thank you for watching Woods, Water, and the Word. Woods, Water, and the Word, and we'll see you on the next episode.